Here we go. Talking about the foundation of our house today. How strong is it?
Our nutrition foundation.
Our nutrition foundation. Our nutritional house. I like this analogy. It's easy to visualize. If you just drew a quick little stick figure of a house, there'd be 5 points on it. And we have 5 main topics that make the foundation of our house strong. What are they, Josh? You're our nutrition guy.
Number 1 are fruits.
Don't even get to look.
I don't need to look. I don't even need to look. Number 1 is fruits.
So, okay.
Eating fruits.
Go one at a time.
Yeah.
We won't.
You want me to
reveal
go through them?
No, we'll start one at a time.
Okay, one at a
Go
time.
through fruits.
That way everybody's like, "Ooh, what are these foundational
What are these
items?"
things? Yeah.
I don't even know what they are. The cool part is they're when you hear them, you're going to be like,
That's it.
I can do this.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. We want to make this simple so that your foundation is strong and lasts a lifetime, right?
Yes.
That's the goal of these habits. So fruits.
And yeah, actually, let's back up a second.
Okay.
The importance of the foundation, like when I look at these 5 things, if anybody's trying to improve their nutrition, to me, if you're not doing these 5 things, don't think about anything else, because it will be much harder than if you get these 5 down first. Fixing anything else becomes a lot easier, and we'll kind of go into why on each one as we stop.
If
Yeah,
you're,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, if your foundation is built on things like restriction and things that you can't have and things you shouldn't do, and the minute that you get tired of it, your foundation crumbles.
Yeah,
And
that's
so-
not a strong foundation. Yeah. These are all things you should add. These are all things that you would add to your diet, not take away. So our foundation is just about building up, not taking things away. So, okay, now we can get started.
Okay.
You said fruits,
Eating 2 servings of fruits per day.
Minimum.
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 Yep.
But we base everything off of 5 days a week. You're never going to do everything every day. So if you're doing 2 fruits a day, 5 days a week, that's a 1 out of 5 score.
Should we mention why we don't go for 7?
Because it's impossible to do everything every day.
Yeah, if we shoot for 7 days a week of everything 100% on, that's perfection, which is not possible. We're looking at consistency. You can certainly have 2 fruits a day, 7 days a week, but if your goal is to have 5, you're more likely to.
Yeah, and if it's 7 and then you miss one day, then it's like,
Yeah.
well, that game's over. I lost.
Yeah,
like
and-
people, I'm never going to do something ever again.
Yeah. The easiest way to explain that is the old, you get to work and there's donuts in the break room and you have a donut and you're like, well, we had a donut for breakfast. I'm going to go out to lunch. Well, I had a donut for breakfast. I went out for lunch. Well, let's order pizza for dinner, right? Like we just continue this snowball. So we want to make it more attainable. Like, oh, I missed my fruit on Sunday, but I can still have it on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or whatever.
Yeah. And you'll still be successful.
Yep.
Even with 5 days a week, assuming you're not totally destroying the other 2. But most likely you'll be fine. So you said 2 servings per day, 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
Josh, nutrition guy, why is fruit so important for us?
Vitamins, minerals, fiber, natural sugars. I talk to people all the time about, we've all got a certain level of a sweet tooth. Our body naturally is craving those sugars. And when we give it the real sugars, we tend to be less likely to go after the unwanted. Well, I guess we may want candy bars and ice cream, and
Yeah, we're not
but
we're not crazy.
Yeah, we're less likely to indulge in those less than ideal.
Right. So if our body's getting the nutrients from the sugar,
Yep.
we may find that we're craving less of those not so great sweet treats. That's what we've found.
And
with
here's
most
where
people.
the first example of saying, like, if I'm trying to fix something with my nutrition, and the first thing I say is I want to decrease my sugar intake. I drink too much soda. Okay, but if you take away soda but you don't have fruit in there, it's going to be really hard to do, because your body, like you said, your body's craving sugar in some fashion. So if you're not putting any sugar in your body, you will break real easy at first sign of weakness or stress or chaos in your life. But if you added fruit to your diet, now you're getting 2 servings of natural sugar each day. the craving for the soda might actually just go away on its own. You may not even have to think about eliminating the soda. It might just happen. Or two, if you're doing the 2 fruits a day and then you decide you want to cut back on your soda intake, it will be a lot easier because that craving is being, satisfied on a day-to-day basis. So,
and I've also found on top of that, like I love ice cream. I've found that when I go to have ice cream now, I'll be satisfied with 1 scoop. We're wanting to overindulge. I'm taking care of some of those.
Yeah, you're actually enjoying the scoop of ice cream versus like just searching for something sweet.
Yeah. So. And, like mine would be like a ski. But there's a lot of days when if I have fruit in the evening, it doesn't even sound good to follow up pineapple with like something else. Just doesn't even sound appetizing.
I said that doesn't sound good.
So then that craving just really goes away, pretty quickly or on its own. Like I didn't even have to tell myself no. It's like I don't actually want that anymore.
You may not even have thought about.
Yeah.
I mean, it might not even be a thought anymore. So
yeah. So
eat
that's
your
why
fruit.
Eat your fruit 2 a day, 5 days a week.
At least.
At least.
These are minimums.
Yep.
Right? Minimums for your foundation.
Don't be scared to go over.
Yeah, don't be scared of fruit. If there's a diet, we've talked about this with clients before. If there's a diet that says only eat a half a banana, we need to rethink what the prescription is for that. So
And we promise if fruit is the worst thing that you're doing every day, you're really kicking ass.
Yeah.
Or you're not eating. One of the two.
So, okay.
On to number 2.
Let's back those fruits up with some veggies. 2 servings of veggies.
At least.
At least. 5 days a week.
Yep, the same thing. It's the same thing. 5 days a week, shoot to get 2 servings at least per day. If you do more, great, but that's your baseline for your solid foundation. And I would venture to say same reasons that the fruit is so good, the same reasons the veggies are so good.
Yeah.
Vitamins, minerals, fiber, just good for us.
And I do want to add one thing that just came to mind. We hear all the time that people are scared of carbs, right? Fruits and vegetables, last I checked, are carbs.
All of it.
All of it. And these are the reasons why carbs are not bad.
Yeah. And speaking of vegetables, sometimes when I bring up veggies and vegetables, people think it should only be like the green stuff or like, Josh, does a sweet potato count as a vegetable?
Or
Yes, Jeff, it is.
Or a white potato.
Or corn.
Does corn count as a vegetable?
They are vegetables.
It does, but it's high in starch. Which
It
my
is
body
higher in
needs.
starch, but it is still a vegetable.
Yeah, and it's still fine. It's all the extra fixins.
Yes.
That go with some of those that are more concerning, not the potato itself.
Right.
The potato itself is just fine, and it counts as a vegetable. Everybody. Mm-hmm. So, I think that goes. I don't know. For some reason, people freak out about it. I can eat a potato.
Yeah, white potatoes and like corn are the 2 big ones where people are like, "Is that count? Does that count?" It's like, absolutely, it counts. So
Now be mindful of what we're doing to it, sure.
Yeah.
But,
Are you deep frying it? It changes things.
and then putting butter and sour cream and
Cheese and bacon. And all.
and the flip side to that though too is any vegetable that you do put a sauce or seasonings on is still a vegetable, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
A vegetable in some dip that you enjoy, you're still getting the benefits, but correct. Be mindful of what you're adding to it to keep it in check for yourself. But those things you're still getting nutritional value from those things.
Yeah.
So
And, I mean, definitely don't just try to eat raw vegetables unless that's what you love, but that's hard to do.
I think while we're talking about the starchy vegetables being, having their, what people do with them, going the other side of it with some of the greens. Jeff and I were just talking to somebody the other day about, having a salad every day for lunch, and iceberg lettuce doesn't offer a ton of nutritional value. So is that a vegetable?
I mean,
It
yeah,
is,
but my guess would be, so let's just talk about those leafy greens and stuff like that. What is an actual serving size? I think people underestimate what an actual serving is. Like those big bags you get only have 3 servings in them. That big bag that you're probably getting 6 different salads out of, you're getting half a serving. So
yeah,
keep that in mind.
The small container of spinach at just at Walmart, that's one serving, the small container.
Yeah, you got to eat the
You
entire
have to eat
thing.
the entire thing to get a serving of vegetables. And I think that's important to also mention for fruits as well. The serving sizes, especially for a berry or for like peas or corn, like make sure you're getting an appropriate serving. A slice of onion on your hamburger is not, it's a nice addition if you like onions. But it's not a serving of vegetables or, a little bit of shredded lettuce on top of something. So being very intentional about the serving size is important too.
So it's easy to give yourself more credit than you deserve. It's the reality of it. Number 3.
Water.
Agua.
Man, we've been talking about this week, and I am shocked how many people, that is the number one thing so far that I've probably heard the most of. I need to drink more water.
All day today as I talk to people.
Yes, water has definitely been one of the biggest things that people have told me. They're like, oh, I forget, or I'm just not doing it. I also talk to them about what are you drinking if you're not drinking water. So some people just aren't drinking anything. But then there are, of course, other beverage options that fill our start in the morning and then fill out through our day. And we might not even give it a thought to have a glass of water or a bottle of water.
Yeah. And here's number 2 on if you add this, then other things start to go away. Sugary drinks, artificial sweeteners, even if it's not just sugar, but 0 calorie this, 0 added sugar. If it's got flavor, there's something in there that you probably don't want. So trying to eliminate that, if you add 64 ounces of water to your day, by the time you get through 64 ounces, there may not be a desire or any room left in the tank to add any of that other stuff. So that's why it's just important, instead of saying I need to stop doing something, maybe you just need to start doing water.
And a strategy that I like to use with people is just we're going to get our water in first. Like water comes in before something else. And before you know it, it slowly starts showing up where they're like, okay, well, I'm going to keep adding water in before I have, whether it's a drink it's not that you shouldn't have it. It's just that they're focused on getting that plain water in first before another beverage that they enjoy.
Yeah. How do you guys get your water in?
That big jug over on the desk, I drink water all day. I start my day with water and I just carry that around. Fits in my cup holder in my car. It goes with me everywhere.
Having the right cup is important. One that fits in your cup holders. Luckily, Stanley's come out with every edition. You get one that matches your car too if you want.
Oh, I don't have my Pulse cup here. Do you have your Pulse cup here?
Not with me.
Yeah,
that's after
I
lunch.
should be having. I need to get a new Pulse cup that's bigger because I found that it's only 20 ounces or so, and
that's why
it's not lasting me very long. So, but yeah, having your water with you, being intentional about starting your day with it. That doesn't mean you have to skip coffee or anything else you enjoy, but what would be so bad about starting the morning with a 8-ounce glass of water?
So, yeah. I'm the opposite. I only drink at meals.
Okay.
Pretty much don't drink anything between meals.
Do you find it difficult to get 64 ounces in a day by doing that, or?
Nope. I probably drink 3 to 4 glasses of water at each meal.
Wow.
Sip, sip, sip.
That's a lot of sipping.
I'm a chugger.
I know, just kidding.
I'd probably chug 2 of them before I even sit down.
See, I'm the opposite. So I start my day with, a glass of water. And then I've got my coffee time when I leave here for lunch. Then it's water the rest of the day. And I even take my big cup to bed with me. And without really even knowing it, somehow I drink it every night without spilling all over the place.
My cup is next to me too, and I do.
And I wake up and it's gone.
I wake up and I will take drinks. My water's not gone, but I have it next to me so that the very first thing in the morning I get out of bed, I take a drink of water. Like it's next to me.
Yeah.
And it stays cold in my Stanley.
Yep.
Yeah. But Stanley's nice because, I only do ice water. Like,
oh, I don't care about ice at all.
it needs to be,
In fact,
See,
I
it
don't
has
like
to be super cold for me.
it needs to be ice cold.
It stays cold in there.
Well, I fill it all the way up with ice,
Yeah,
and then I'm just constantly adding water to it.
Number 4,
Protein.
protein. What's that mean?
Prioritize protein.
How do we do that?
Well, there's the technical number, you know, where we could talk about how many grams per day. I was just
Yeah,
talking to a lady the other day.
Not do that.
You can get all technical and talk about that. I think the easiest way is if we're going to have 3 meals a day and then 2 or 3 snacks a day, having protein with every meal and every snack of some form, getting that protein every time we're sitting down to eat.
Yep. The easiest
We'll
way
check
is
that box.
Be able to identify where your protein source is at every meal. If you're looking at your plate and you can see where it is, you're headed in the right direction. Now then it's just a matter of making sure you've got enough.
And that was going to be my next thing, probably weighing it.
Yeah, just
to
paying
make
attention
sure-
to the serving size.
Yep, serving size.
Yeah. That's probably the biggest thing that people underestimate. They give too much
Absolutely.
credit for is how much protein they had. Like, oh, yeah, I put some chicken on my salad and it was 2 ounces when it should really be 4 to 6
At least.
at least.
Especially
Yeah.
chicken. I mean, you know, chicken for sure, at least 4 ounces. If it's a steak or something that's higher in fat and you're watching that part of it, then you may want to stick to the 6 ounces for your steak. So
How many times have we talked to somebody, oh, I had a sandwich or I had a salad and I put 2 slices of deli meat on there.
Yeah.
they
Not
might
enough.
have, and if depending on how thin sliced it is, they might have had an ounce. And then they're like, and I'm really hungry in the afternoon. I'm starving way before dinner. And their sandwich had an ounce of meat on it.
Yeah.
That's a direct correlation of why you're hungry very quickly after a meal. So look at your protein source. How much did you have?
That's probably the easiest one on this checklist for me. I'm not missing a piece of meat.
Yeah, me neither. That's not a hard one for me.
Protein's my favorite.
It's not my favorite. But I mean, I'm eating it at every meal, but it's not my favorite.
And there's lots of other ways besides just through meat. You know, for those we do have some people that are vegetarian and stuff. There's lots of other or just don't like meat that much. There's definitely other options, especially now they made it easier with like different types of noodles, edamame noodles, chickpea noodles, chickpeas in general. So if you like pasta stuff, that's an easy way to get 20 grams of protein in without having to think. Number 5.
Let's eat at home.
Yep.
Ooh, this one solves a lot of problems.
Make your meals at home. Eat them at home. That
Yeah,
doesn't mean
doesn't
pick
mean
it
you
up,
pick it up and eat it at
drive
home.
home and eat it.
Yeah,
It's
took a second for that to sink in. What
food that you made at your house. You can eat that out and about, but
Yeah.
it has to be prepared from your house.
Yes. You
And
bought
would
it.
you guys-
You bought it at the grocery store. You brought it home,
Yes.
and then you
Yeah.
prepared it.
Wouldn't you guys say that this is, I mean, to me, this is probably the most important one because you can mess up a lot of other things, but if we're,
Yeah.
making meals at home, it's going to fix a lot of things.
This will autocorrect a ton of things.
Yep.
This will autocorrect overeating. This will, because generally speaking, most people when they make stuff at home, they do a pretty decent job of eating, like making healthier stuff when they actually make it at home. But we just don't do it very often, or just as a society, that's a thing of the past. So we're bringing it back, and again, not every day. Just if there's 21 meals, 16 or 17 of them from home. I would say most people get breakfast from home generally, but there's a lot of conveniences and ways to stop for breakfast too, though. So if I eat at home 5 days a week, what's something that autocorrects?
Well, it's going to be easier to get those fruits and veggies in too, because you're going to be sure to include them with the meals that you're preparing at home. It's not easy to get fruit anywhere at any restaurant. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you're just like at some fancy place where you can order like the $10 fruit bowl or something. But I mean, it's going to be easier to get the nutrients in that that are going to help you.
Yep. I think it autocorrects overeating for sure. Like if you're somebody who's like, oh, I need to just not eat so much, start making your food at home. Even if you overeat the quantity, I'm certain it's going to be less calories than
I
what
was
you were
thinking
taking in
calories
from a
and fat.
restaurant.
That was first that came to my mind.
Yeah. You'll autocorrect fat intake most likely too. There's a reason every restaurant's chicken breast tastes better than yours. It's because what they're adding to it, or the bacon grease that it's cooking in right next to it, or butter that they're adding, oil, whatever.
Yeah,
That they're adding a ton of.
Yeah, eating at home puts you in control of what's in the meal and what's not in the meal. And there's a good reason why sometimes when you eat out that you are left maybe feeling with a little tummy ache or something, like just because of perhaps how it's prepared. Eating at home, you're you're in control 100% of
and you can,
what the ingredients
and
are,
you get to
what's
start
going in it.
And then you can easily correct how healthy it is. But trying somebody who doesn't know how to eat at home, and then we try to send them, like somebody who eats out 5 days a week, and then we try to just say, okay, now you need to eat this healthy meal at home. That's really hard to do. They don't even know how to grocery shop yet. They don't know how to do anything to make that meal. And then now it has to be healthy too. So if you just start eating at home, then you can correct how clean that is, or you can take it to whatever level that you want it to be to meet your goals. So those are our 5 main points to build your nutrition house and make it a strong foundation that'll last you a lifetime. If you stick with these 5 things, the minute something goes off, what's your score? How are you doing on these 5? And I bet there's something, and if you're not doing well, one of these 5 is broken.
Yeah. So did you talk about that at the beginning about scoring?
I didn't. We were this week.
We kind of talked
a
about
little bit.
it.
If we took every one of these categories and rated them 1 through 5, that would give it a max 25 point score. So if you're looking at your nutrition and you're not getting a 25, don't worry about anything else until you get a 25 score. And if you get a 25 score, you might not have anything to worry about. And if you do, then you can probably fix it pretty easy, because it's probably not eating enough. So how do I add more food to my plate would be, I would say, is the next challenge that people run into once they're doing these. Then it's, are you eating enough food once you're doing those 5? So any other thoughts on our nutrition house?
I mean, I know they sound boring, and at the beginning I said when you hear these, you're going to be like, oh, I can do that. And that was the goal of today, is to get everyone thinking about their basic nutrition. I know there's so much information going around, that we consume all the time about this is what you should do. This is what you should do. This is what you should do. And you're kind of left in a flurry or frenzy of like, I don't know how to do that. And so hopefully just taking these 5 basic things, they all sound doable and scalable. And you can say, yeah, you can look at the fruit and be like, I'm having 0 pieces a day. Start with 1. We're not eating vegetables at all. Start with 1. I'm not drinking water. Start with 1, right?
Yeah.
I don't have protein at breakfast. Okay, now let's start looking at what can I do to add the protein to what I'm already having. And then, of course, eating your meals at home. That could be as easy as like starting to pack your lunch for work or whatever. But these should all be items that you could look at and take action on fairly easily. Right, guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, just make them as simple as possible. Like, don't overcomplicate. Yes. Try to just think simple.
Yeah. Look at where you're at, assess, and then make a plan.
Yeah. Perfect. So thanks for listening.